Tripp Tobin. Tripp, how's it going?
Going great.
You guys begin the season today against Funkstown, post 211. Just what can you tell us about the team this year, and what are you excited about today's opponent?
Well, this year's team is as young as they've been in a while. It was a kind of an odd year where we aged out a lot of our first-year college guys like Carson Buber and Cole Lewis and Jason Myers and then we also aged out plenty of guys that have been around the program for a long time, like Jordan Canby and Cam Moore, and those are just a few names I'll throw out there because we want to talk about this year's team. But yeah, we have been. We rode a wave there of some really good talent that we had for 2, 3, 4 years in a row, and those guys finally cycled through. So this year we're going to look for tremendous amount of the guys that were in the junior program last 2 years, and were very successful and make the step up. And we're really excited that got a couple of new faces, and Wyatt McClintock and Jameer Brown and Peanut Ingles coming over to throw, and so they give us a lot of depth in pitching, of course, a lot of first team all EPAC guys there, and utility guys. Wyatt and Jameer give us a lot of help us with our depth in the middle of infield, and so really looking forward to that. But I think once again, it kind of comes down to pitching, and we kind of have built this team around that as well. So, we're looking forward to, I think if we pitch well, I think the defense will be really good, and we just got to find a way for these young hitters to face some of these, 18, 19-year-old pitchers coming back maybe from first year of college.
Tripp, you mentioned the pitching depth throughout your roster for your team, and that will definitely, it looks like, be put to the test this week as it's a busy week to begin the season for your program. Just tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to see from your guys lined up here after coming off either their college seasons or their high school seasons, either a week or two ago or some more quickly.
Well, when you look at our pitching staff, you look at guys like Alex Danner and Grant Henderson and Jack Gross, the Engel, Jackson Earl, who's going to start for us tonight, Wyatt McClintock. Owen Rupenthal's coming back from West Virginia Tech, and he's put on some pounds and muscle and picked up some velo and learned a few things down there and a few pitches. He'll probably start tomorrow night against Frederick, but tonight we'll probably go more of a whole staff, kind of a Johnny Whole staff. We want to get those many guys as we can out there in front of Coach Koala and let him see what's coming through the pike here in the Eastern Panhandle. So don't expect to see guys go out there for a long stint, but I expect that Earl and Danner and Jet and McClintock and Jameer, who are all eligible tonight to throw, will be on the mound. Probably look at Henderson, for the Wednesday night game, possibly a few innings when we go play our area opponent. So Alter, Engel, Loper, even Edwards has thrown some this year. I just think that those guys really add a lot of depth and a lot of arms to there. There's guys in there that also want to pitch a little bit. That didn't get a lot of chance with Trace Huff and Oviedo, who can pitch. Cole Smith pitched a lot for the junior team last year, so don't be surprised if we get in a pinch if those guys don't get caught on the thrown inning as well. But really well-rounded, not many POs this year, not many pitcher-onlys. So guys are going to be in the game and not just kind of coming and going and 1 foot in, 1 foot out, as happens with a lot of pitcher-only. So hope to be a unified group that want to fight through this year and fight through and learn, and they seem to be a hungry group, so that's really good. And we've got to get to our area tournament. We've got we've got a lot of tests ahead of us, to get to the area tournament and to the state tournament. So we hope to grow up real fast.
And Tripp, you mentioned a couple times already the youth of this team. What do you think usually ends up being the biggest thing or two that these younger guys end up having to adjust to when they start playing these older guys that maybe they weren't seeing at the high school level?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, they're probably tonight. Funkstown, I don't know for sure, but they generally have a lot of, they have some college comebacks. I mean, throughout this week, Frederick the same way, and I think when we face that velocity and those guys that can pitch at that level, I think we have to. I think we really, have to have good at bats. The good thing is that, the Eastern Panhandle, the EPAC, as we've seen it all year long, is we know that even though that Henderson and Jet and Engel and Earl and some of those guys are younger, I mean, they are tremendous pitchers that these guys have had to either play with or play against have played against all spring. And so I think, I really feel like that those guys will be prepared to see, pitches in, 85 plus, with good breaking stuff and because I mean, I really feel like there was some good pitching scattered across the state, here and there, but I'm not sure that it was, compacted into this area, into any area like it was up here in our area.
And Tripp, you mentioned, I guess earlier, just some of the guys coming over from the junior team. The junior team's already off and running. They're 10-2 to start the year. Just having that extra program and having guys that can play on both teams as well. How's that really helped you, and do you think helps these guys that are coming up from that level that they've already kind of played Legion, they know what to expect, and even though it's a 17U, the Junior Hornets have played their fair share of 19U games as well over the years?
Yeah, I mean, they just got off of played a tough Blue Crabs team yesterday, an 18U team, and we did drop a few guys down, that probably are going to be on the varsity team, of course, or the senior team, of course, but yeah, I mean, those guys have been through the program. This is what it's all about is, it's just kind of moving through. A couple guys from that team like Grant and Jet moved up last year, played so that they understand it. And, a couple of these other guys have been in the program with Healy and Danner, of course. Ovi went through came up and down. Pedersen's been in and out. So, I mean, Trace Huff, just a tremendous player there. Michael Poltar, Cole Smith, they've all, been with us for a couple of years. I mean, we were very, very lucky to return, so many guys. I mean, except for a few guys that are moving on to some travel or something, we returned a very large portion of our guys that were eligible, and that's what makes us successful is that, we don't lose guys every year. We lost a few guys to maybe a showcase or travel, but for the most part, those guys came back and are ready to play, but adding to the, as I was looking at this roster, adding to our newcomers, we brought in Sam Hefner again this year too. So 4 new guys there. He's going to solidify that outfield and bring a lot of speed to us as well. Him and Healy out there working together. So, yeah, I mean, it's just nice to be able to work those together, to have basically a 36-man roster, to be able to, on days when we're a little short or maybe need something or need an outfielder or a catcher or something, to be able to go down there and, swing a guy up and for those guys to learn and be around the older guys. And, hopefully in a couple of years from now, we're talking about that team, all coming back. So, yeah, the junior team, it certainly presents its challenges as far as scheduling and umpires and paperwork and just a lot that's on you when you have to schedule nearly 70-some games a year and deal with motels and tournaments and fees and there's just a lot to it. But it's really rewarding to watch those guys grow.
You mentioned just how much this program has grown, Tripp, and I know it's not just all on your shoulders, so I'll let you shout out the rest of the staff for your senior program and the junior program that help you out to make this continue to grow and grow.
Well, I mean, before we can even, you see a lot. You'll see guys out there that have the case jackets on, but you have to have a huge hats off to our area director Tasha, my sister, who takes care of all this paperwork and transfers and player fees and motels and things like that. So we have to give her a big shout out as our administrator that no one knows about. She's the schedules, people at the gate and takes care of just so many things. But when you want to look at the field and the field generals out there with Ethan Greenfield, he's been with this program since 2019. Sam Walls came on as a pitching coach, just great with the kids, unbelievable. And Tom Moore and Dan Poltar are both just big assets to our program. New coaches this year in the junior level with B.J. Elliott coming over. the Martinsburg, Spring Mills, Hedgesville guy. He has a lot of contacts down there and has been around the kids and Donnie Smith and Coach Bragg down there. Excuse me, Coach Donnie Smith and and I had a brain fart there with the third coach there. It'll hit me here in a second. Too many names.
Scott
Bowman.
Yep.
Yeah, Scotty Bowman. I'd brag on my man, but yeah, Donnie Smith and Scotty Bowman and BJ doing a great job down there, and Ed, the guy in from Jefferson, Coach Matthias, who's just a great baseball IQ guy. So 4 guys down there working with 16, 18 guys, and 4 or 5 guys up here. So the player to coach ratio is great. Communication's great. The love for those guys are great, and I think that those guys should be. I think if you're a parent, a local kid, and you have to be happy that your son is around such a great group of guys that cares a lot for them and gives up their summer for $0. Other than there's a majority of us in the staff that have no kids involved. I mean, Sam and myself and Ethan and Tasha and. Dan's been around, and he's a great guy to be in there. Dan Poltar's son does play, but you wouldn't know it. And the same way with Tom. There's no nepotism with those guys. They're just out there to help the program, and I appreciate them all.
Tripp, you mentioned it a little bit, but what more can you say about the opportunity today to get to play at Shepherd and what that'll mean for the guys on the roster?
Coach Kowali came in, and I watched him from afar a little bit, and just really impressed with, his, what he's doing down there, and he has I think he has a 5-year plan. I don't think he plans on leaving anytime soon. So we've got a little bit of a relationship with him. We getting some young guys, some area guys in that we didn't see much prior to his coming to Shepherd. We didn't see a tremendous amount of area talent getting looks down there, but we see Jordan Canby coming back, and Chase Herndon down there, and Braden Stottlemyre, Riley Morgan's down there. Trey Sign has just left down there. We have Trevor Sharp down there. So, to see those guys get a chance to play at a great program in the PSAC and D2 baseball, and get those opportunities, and for him to give us a chance to show our guys and him to get a relationship with them and kind of get them on the radar, I think is huge for the kids, and that's one of the reasons why tonight you're going to see a lot of turnover in the lineup and more about letting them showcase their skills as opposed to trying to get the W at all costs.
It's a 6 p.m. start tonight from Fairfax Field at Shepherd University. We'll be on the air around 5:45. Tripp, we'll see you tonight. Good luck.
All right, thank you.